Hello everyone. In this video we are going to discuss second numerical based on Rankine's earth pressure theory from the chapter Earth Pressure Theory. A retaining wall with a smooth vertical back has to retain a backfill of cohesionless soil of height 5 meter above the ground level. The soil has a void ratio of 0.83 and specific gravity G is equal to 2.68. The water table is located at a depth of 2.5 meter below the top of the backfill. The soil above the water table is 20% saturated. Phi dash above and below water table are found to be 32 degree and 28 degree respectively. Plot the variation of active earth pressure and find the magnitude and point of application of resultant thrust. So here in this diagram we can see that a retaining wall is having a backfill of total height 5 meter where water table is situated at a depth of 0.25 meter. So obviously soil which is present below the depth of 2.5 meter is saturated and the soil which is above the water table is 20% saturated. That means S is equal to 0.2. The angle of friction is phi dash equal to 28 degree for the soil which is below the water table and phi dash is equal to 32 degree for soil which is above water table. Now here given data is E equal to 0.83 and the specific gravity G is equal to 2.68. Now let us assume gamma W as 10 kilonewton per meter cube. Let us first determine the densities of soil which is present above the water table and present below the water table. So first we will discuss the density of soil which is present above the water table. This soil is 20% saturated, that means S is equal to 0.2. Now we know the formula for density. It is gamma equal to G plus SE into gamma W divided by 1 plus E. So putting G as 2.68, S as 0.2, E as 0.83 and gamma W as 10, we can obtain gamma is equal to 15.55 kilonewton per meter cube. So density of soil which is above the water table is 15.55 kilonewton per meter cube. Now soil which is present below the water table is obviously saturated. So for saturated soil S is equal to 1. Now formula for gamma sat is G plus SE into gamma W divided by 1 plus E. So here value of S is equal to 1. So putting G as 2.68, E as 0.83 and gamma W as 10, we will get gamma sat as 19.18 kilonewton per meter cube. So gamma sat for the soil below water table is 19.18 kilonewton per meter cube. Now we are supposed to plot the variation of active earth pressure throughout the height of the retaining wall. So for that we will require coefficient of active earth pressure. Since the value of phi for top and bottom layer are different, the different value of Ka will be obtained for both these layers. So first we will determine the value of Ka for top layer. It is equal to 1 minus sine phi dash divided by 1 plus sine phi dash. So phi is equal to 32 degree. So Ka will be equal to 1 minus sine 32 divided by 1 plus sine 32, which is equal to 0.307. Now coefficient of active pressure for bottom layer will be equal to same formula but value of phi is different. So we will write sine phi as sine 28. So Ka will be equal to 1 minus sine 28 divided by 1 plus sine 28. So Ka for the bottom layer will be equal to 0.361. Now we have determined the value of Ka for top layer as 0.307 and Ka for bottom soil layer as 0.361. Now we will see the formula for active earth pressure. The active earth pressure is given by Ka into gamma z. So we can determine the value of Pa using different values of z. So at depth z equal to 0 means at the top of the soil surface the value of Pa will become equal to 0 because this entire term will be equal to 0. So Pa is equal to 0 kilonewton per meter square at the top. So at depth Z equal to 2.5, there is a water table. So at this height we can see a junction of upper layer and bottom layer. So here at this point we can get two values of active pressure. So first value will be the active pressure for the top interface and second value will be active pressure for bottom interface. So first we will see active pressure for the top interface. It will be equal to Ka for top layer into gamma z, which is equal to 0.307 into gamma is 15.55 and height is 2.5. So Pa for top interface is 11.935 kilonewton per meter square. Now Pa for the bottom interface is equal to Ka of bottom layer into gamma z. So Ka for bottom layer is 0.361 into gamma is 19.18 into total height is 2.5. So Pa for bottom interface is 17.31 kilonewton per meter square. So at the depth Z equal to 5, the value of gamma Z will be equal to sigma V, where sigma V is the total weight of the overlying soil. So this sigma will be equal to weight of bottom layer plus weight of top layer. So here we can write sigma V as weight of bottom layer is equal to density into height because we have taken area as 1 unit. So here density is considered as submerged density because soil in the bottom layer is in submerged condition. So submerged density will be equal to gamma sat minus gamma W. So here gamma sat is 19.18 minus gamma W is 10 into 2.5. So this is the weight of the bottom layer and weight of the top layer is 15.55 into 2.5. So total sigma V will be equal to 61.825. So total active pressure at the bottom layer will be equal to Pa equal to Ka gamma Z, where we have considered gamma Z as sigma V and sigma V is equal to 61.825. So total Pa will be equal to Ka for the bottom layer into sigma V. So it is equal to 0.361 into 61.825, which is equal to 22.319 kilonewton per meter square. And also there will be uplift pressure at this bottom layer and it is equal to height into gamma W. So U is equal to 2.5 into 10, it is equal to 25. Now we have obtained the value of Pa at top, Pa, two values of Pa for the interface and value of Pa for the bottom layer and also value of uplift pressure. So now we will draw a pressure distribution diagram. Now this is the same retaining wall and we are going to plot a pressure distribution diagram along this vertical line. So here in this line, we can draw pressure at depth Z equal to 0 is 0 kilonewton. So here this top point indicates the pressure, active pressure of 0 kilonewton per meter square at the top layer. Then at depth Z equal to 2.5, there is junction for the top layer and for bottom layer. So there are two values of PA. First value of PA is corresponding to top layer and it is equal to 11.935. So we have plot a value of 11.935 which is indicated by this point. So we have connected this top point and this point to form a triangle. Now value of PA corresponding to bottom layer is 17.31. So here this point indicates the value of 17.31. So this is the total PA for the bottom interface. So we are drawn a straight vertical line up to bottom layer and formed a rectangular portion. At depth Z equal to 5 means at the bottom layer the value of PA obtained is 22.319 kilonewton per meter square, out of which 17.31 is already plotted. So remaining 5.01 is plotted as this point. So this point indicates the total PA of 22.319 and this is the difference between 22.319 and 17.31. Now we are also supposed to plot the uplift pressure which is 25. So we have plot uplift pressure 25 as this much. So this length indicates the uplift pressure of 25 kilonewton per meter square. This is the same earth pressure diagram we have obtained. For convenience, we are naming each portion 1, 2, 3 and 4. So the total pressure acting at the back of the retaining wall will be equal to the area of this earth pressure diagram. So we will determine the area of each portion and then we will add it up. So P1 is equal to area of the first triangle which is equal to half into base is 11.935 into height 2.5. So P1 is 14.919 kilonewton per meter square. P2 is equal to area of rectangle numbered as 2. It is equal to base into height. So 17.31 into height is 2.5. So P2 is equal to 43.275 kilonewton per meter square. P3 is equal to area of triangle numbered as 3. It is equal to half into base is 5.01 into height is 2.5. So P3 is equal to 6.263 kilonewton per meter square. And pressure P4 is equal to area of this triangle which is numbered as 4. It is equal to half into base is 25, height is 2.5. So P4 is equal to 31.25 kilonewton per meter square. So the net pressure acting on the back of the retaining wall PA is equal to sum of all these forces. It is equal to 14.919 plus 43.275 plus 6.263 plus 31.25. So total net pressure is equal to 95.707 kilonewton per meter square. So the line of action of this net pressure PA can be obtained by taking moment of the retaining wall about this bottom point. Let's consider this point as point C. Now Let us assume that the PA is acting at a distance, say Z bar, from the bottom of the retaining wall. Then PA into Z bar is equal to movement of each force about point C. So first we will consider area 1. So movement of first area will be, total area is 14.919 we have obtained, into distance of CG of this area from point C. It is equal to 2.5 plus 1/3 of 2.5 plus movement of second area. The second area obtained is 43.275 into distance of CG of this area from point C. It is equal to 2.5 divided by 2 plus movement of area 3. So third area is 6.263 into distance of CG of this area from point C. It is equal to 1/3 of 2.5 plus movement of this fourth area. So fourth area obtained is 31.25 into distance of CG of this area from point C. It is equal to 1/3 of 2.5. So PA into Z bar will be equal to 135.071. So value of PA is 95.707. So Z bar will be equal to 135.071 divided by 95.707. So Z bar will be equal to 1.411. So this active pressure PA will be acting at a distance of 1.411 from the bottom of the retaining wall. Thank you.